the importance of a mentor. It's something that all the great ones had. Everyone talks about it, but truly, why is it important? And so I'll use myself as an example. So I just started my remote sales job, my first sales job. And in the first week, I made 3 sales already. And I don't know if that's, normal or whatever, but I think a big testament to it is the people who are teaching me how to do the job. And when you look at it from that lens, it's like, okay, my brother had the job before me and was the top salesman, for 2 years. And so we were in the same room for my onboarding. So he was just teaching me everything he knew, one. And then the person that was onboarding me was extremely helpful and was the person that taught my brother. So I had 2 of the best salesmen that ever came through that company teaching me how to do it, so I don't fall in the pitfalls. I don't make certain mistakes, and I always have someone to ask questions to. So now you look at this and you take it on a broader scope with something like entrepreneurship, where there's a lot longer time frame and a lot more mistakes you can fall into, a lot more traps that are set. Now imagine you had an 8 to 9 figure entrepreneur at your fingertips, and someone that you could ask questions to whenever you had any. And to me, that is something that's invaluable. And you might not scale up as high, but you might not scale up higher, but you'll certainly pass the early stages much faster and avoid the huge mistakes that they might have made or they learned along the way. So that's the importance of a mentor. So let's go through another thing. Thoughts lead to actions, actions lead to habits, habits lead to your reality. And so if you understand how important your thoughts are, you need to start, one, thinking positively about everything, and programming your brain to believe what you want your life to be. Because if you take it down the whole way from thoughts to reality, if you can control your thoughts, you can control your reality, because it'll over time affect all of it else. And I think that also might be why there's a little bit of a lag on it and why things take time. It's because your overall thoughts have to change. Your subconscious mind to its core has to change in order for your reality to change, because your thoughts have to change, and then as your thoughts slowly start to change, this slowly starts to change your belief system as a whole. And as your beliefs start to change, now your actions are starting to change. That takes a little bit more time, and then ultimately you have to develop habits that lead you to that reality. So it's a process, so it takes time. You can't expect it overnight, and that's what a lot of people do. And you can honestly ask someone, name something besides like brushing your teeth and showering. I mean, even if you have done that every day, like, is there anything you do every day? Like, not 364 days. Like, is there out of a year, is there something that you've done for the past month every single day? And if there's not like 5 things, then you need to change your habits. But to change your habits, what do you have to change? You have to change your actions. Well, if you want to change your actions, what do you have to change? Your thoughts, right? Everything comes back to here. It all led back to here. Everything in life all leads back to the mind. So if you have a problem in life, look here. Bypass the countless blaming of other people and being so confused as to why something's happened. Just look here. Look for similar problems that have happened to you and look for a common denominator. And it's always here. I mean, you can argue and say it's not. Oh, no, this happened. It was out of my control. Yeah, okay. Yep. He is not a fool. God cannot be mocked. As a man sows shall he reap. All right, last thing I want to go over for this week. First of all, the year is ending. So 2024 is going to be a great year for me. And it can be for you too. But like I just said, he is not a fool. God cannot be mocked. As a man sows shall he reap. So what? What do you want? You don't even know what you want. If you don't have a goal, you will arrive nowhere. So you need to have a goal. You need to have a plan of where you're headed. You need to write this plan down. Write it down. Brian Tracy says that the advice he gives to millionaires or entrepreneurs or whatever to get rich or double their income or whatever is just write your goals down every day. Whatever you want. Write it in the present tense, obviously, because that's how you're supposed to pray. We know this. But write it out every day. So that's the new habit I'm going to start. So every morning I wake up, I'm going to write down my 10 goals and write in the present tense and write, the 10 most important things you think are in your life that day. And you're not, held down to these goals. You're not like forced to keep the goals if you don't want to do them after a certain period of time. Like, it's your life. If you want to, whatever life you want to have, that's the life you should reap. But you have to sow it first. And if you don't have the thoughts, right, then you won't have the beliefs, then you won't have the actions, you won't have the habits, then you won't have the reality. It's truth. So you need to start with baby steps. You need to start with figuring out what you want first and then writing it out. So hopefully that's a little bit helpful. 2024 can be a great year, but depending on the work you want to do, if you want to start a business, if you want to start, do whatever you want to do, right? You need to learn one valuable skill. I think it's often, people just say the word, but they don't explain the true importance of the word and what it truly means. So I'll tell you a story. Well, not really a story. Let's just call it spade a spade. It's just Warren Buffett and Bill Gates were both asked on some private jet by some guy, what's the one most important thing? And they both turned and they both said at the same time, focus. Focus is that one important thing. And so whatever you want to create, whatever reality you want to create, whoever you want to become, you need to focus. You need to focus on your goals. And when you're doing the actions, you need to focus. So this means you shouldn't have your smartphone on your desk next to you while you're working. Turn it off, put it away, unless it's a part of the work. But I would always side with you probably shouldn't mix smartphones with deep work, just because there's so much that can distract you. There's so much to take you off your work. It's so difficult and takes so much willpower that it's smarter not to have it involved. And if you need it, then maybe delete certain apps or make it as least visually appealing as possible so that you can't get a little distracted. But because all it takes is one time, right? You have 30 minutes of great work, and then you check your phone, and now you're completely out of it. You got to take 15 minutes to get back into the zone. And it's just you need to focus, right? You need You need focus. And this goes with all like meditations and being one, focusing on one thing. Like, it all just makes sense, right? And so you need to create an environment for what you're trying to do. So you need a habitat for the habit. If you don't want to eat junk food in 2024, don't have chips in the pantry. Like, that's just, right? If you want to focus on your content for 2 hours and you don't want to be distracted, you don't want to think about anything else, you want to think about producing the content, then don't have your smartphone next to your desk. You're just asking yourself to fail. Like, am I not making sense? Like, is this not common? Is this not like common sense? I don't understand. Like, people just don't listen. And I think people say, oh yeah. No, dude, do something about it. Thoughts, beliefs, actions, habits, reality. That's it. Don't fuck it up.